best chance is honestly through court cases right now, because I think a couple years ago, back in 2015, right after I helped organize that march, LOLITA actually got protected under the Endangered Species Act. And there's a clause under the Endangered Species Act called the harassment clause, which basically states that you can't harass an endangered species. And LOLITA was captured from an endangered species. So right now, a lot of the court cases are targeting that harassment clause to see if her being in captivity violates that. So that's really where the court cases are right now.
Yeah, it's good.
I haven't heard it in a while. I heard the last judgment a year or two ago, but it was just, it was
I mean, the pessimistic side of me says those court cases are going to go on forever.
right, that's what
they better go back and forth, but I mean, at least it's progress.
Absolutely.
And it is helping set a precedence.
Oh, absolutely.
And SeaWorld is now
it's already happened,
phasing out orcas.
Absolutely.
Talking to your legislators too is a big thing. There's a bill going on in California right now to phase out orca captivity and that stuff.
I saw that,
Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. I mean, whether or not LOLITA dies in that tank is questionable. I just don't want her to die in vain if she does die in that tank. You know, I prepared myself for it, but I don't want her to die in vain. I want to make sure that we've learned something from it and they never get another one, which I don't think they will. China's getting all the orcas now. China's a big issue. China is trying to, basically they're always trying to outdo the United States, right? I mean, that's what they do. And so now they got into the captivity industry. And they have now 44 marine parks, I think. And they're buying captured orcas from Russia. They just bought stock, a Chinese corporation just bought stock in SeaWorld, 21% of their stocks. So now they have a really close tie with Chimelong Safari Park and SeaWorld in China. So I have a feeling we're going to see our SeaWorld orcas go to China. They'll be laundered to the Canary Islands or something like that, and they'll continue working over there, I think. No one wants to talk about it right now, but I think that's pretty much what's going to happen.
SeaWorld's also trying to open a park in Dubai as well.
Right. Right. And that's the same Chinese financing. Their stocks shot up like 10% the day that China invested in SeaWorld. So SeaWorld was doing really bad, and then China came along and bailed them out. So now we got to convince, now once we get it shut down here, it's like we got to go over there and start all over again and convince the Chinese. And that's why I actually live in China. That's why, yes, I do.
Wow. Is that why?
That's why I'm there.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, I was there, I went for other reasons, for the ivory trafficking, ivory trade, specifically elephants, but now it looks like orcas are on the table too.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of a stretch, but I'm curious about farm animals who are tortured, if there's sanctuaries for them that you know of, that rescue animals.
There's a lot of sanctuaries for farm animals, yeah. There's a few here in California, quite a few. Farm Sanctuary is one. What's the other one in LA? There's another nice one in LA. Animal Acres, is that, where's that? No, that's New York. There's Farm Sanctuary in New York, Farm Sanctuary in California. There's the Woodstock Sanctuary in New York. Best Friends is today. I think they have some farm animals there. Best Friends, which is in Utah. If you send me an email, I can get you a list.
Okay.
I'm happy to dig up that list. Yeah, I just can't think of them all off the top of my head, but there's quite a few here in California.
Yeah, there's a bunch in Southern California, LA. I forget the names off the top of my head.
Yeah, I should know. I've been to several of them. Next. Okay.
So with all these suicide stuff that they commit, do they do something to prevent it, or to, I don't know, take care of their health? Because they know it can happen, right?
With who? The dolphins or the trainers? Because there's been a few trainers that commit suicide in the last 25 years too.
About the answer. No,
Yeah.
I don't care about the
I think the trainers. But it just shows you how miserable the trainers are as well. Yeah, I mean, no one has actually proven, that the dolphins are committing suicide. But, I mean, Rick made a very good point. They're voluntary breathers. They can stop breathing if they want to. And he knows these animals as good as anybody else, if not better. So if he says that he thinks Kathy committed suicide, then I tend to believe him. What do they do to prevent that? What they call enrichment. right? Enrichment.
Yeah, and drugs.
And drugs, yeah, there you go. I mean, Prozac is a big thing in the captivity industry. And in Asia, they use amphetamines, methamphetamines, to keep the animals active. Here, I think Lolita's been on Prozac for probably 20 or 30 years.
They use Tagamet too, which is used to treat ulcers and that sort of thing.
Right. And what they call enrichment is, you know, for elephants they put a damn tire in the cage. You know, for monkeys they might put a rope swing. For orcas, Lolita for the longest time had a trainer's wetsuit floating around with her that she used to just kind of push around. But Lolita, she's got like zero enrichment. The only enrichment she has is doing the stupid shows. And when they started, like a few years ago, when they stopped doing the Lolita shows because she was really sick, I actually thought that was going to kill her because those shows were her like only real enrichment and exercise. And she was doing them 3 times a day. I think now she's doing them twice a day. So, and they don't really care that much, you know. It's like if they lose Lolita, see that's the thing. Like I said, she's a liability now. They're just like the rest of us. They're just waiting for her to die, because when she dies, they can fit 5 or 6 more dolphins in that tank, and they can do a dolphin swim experience in the tank. You know, so really Lolita's costing them more money than she's worth right now. So there's really no reason to keep her from committing suicide.
They're still so stubborn about keeping her. They just don't get it.
You know, they don't want. The thing is, it's partly that, and it's also SeaWorld. SeaWorld has no love for Seaquarium. Because Seaquarium is like the bastard stepchild, you know. But SeaWorld does not want. See, SeaWorld basically runs the. It's not the American Zoo Association, but it's the marine mammal version of it. What's it? It's the Marine Mammal Captive Association, right? And there's a name for it that Zach's going to remember in a minute.
IMATA, was he thinking of that? International Marine Mammal Trainers Association?
It's something like that, but it's the national, I believe it's the national one.
Like U.S. only.
Yeah. And SeaWorld's in charge. So even if Miami Seaquarium says we want to retire Lolita, that association will not let it happen, because that's going to set a precedence. If Lolita can be retired, then all the other ones can be retired too. And SeaWorld won't have that. At least they wouldn't. But now with this whole switch that they're now phasing out the orca shows, maybe they'll come around and do the right thing. I don't know. I mean, these guys are supposed to be, you know, wildlife rescue experts, and they see what's right on their website. So it's hard to say. Maybe they'll come around. I'd like to believe they do. Not everybody in Seaquarium and SeaWorld is evil. I've got friends that work there. You know, that's how I keep, you know, getting the information. Keep your, what is it saying? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. It's really a benefit to get to know people in the zoos and the aquariums and the circuses. Yeah. Somebody else? Yeah.
So I'm assuming Lolita is not. I mean, she can still have babies because you said that.
We think.
Okay, so if she happens to have a baby, would that baby be a property of the aquarium?
Well, she can't have a baby in captivity unless she's artificially inseminated, right? Yeah, so theoretically the baby would be their property, right? But this whole thing with the protection of wildlife, you know, this whole new regulation that you're not allowed to harass wildlife, you know, to forcibly inseminate a quote-unquote protected wild animal, I mean, that's a whole other issue. Yeah. I don't think they're ever going to impregnate.
She's approaching that age where she's going to be too old.
She's kind of at that breaking point.
So between 48 and 50.
Which is really sad. If they had retired her when this came out in 2004, she would have had a really good chance, you know? A really good chance. She was really healthy. Now she's not so, I mean, her teeth are starting to fall apart. I mean, she's not looking great. It's really sad.
She has an eye problem too now. I mean, she's had that for a while.
Well, she's swimming around in chlorine,
Yeah.
you know? Anybody else?
If the size of her tank is illegally small, why has that been changed?
Aphis, dude.
Because aphis, like Russ says, is completely useless. They're absolutely useless.
So that why have the people, like, they put effort into that then instead of...
We did. Howard did, Russ did, Rick did, I went after them. We had people come in and measure the tank, but APHIS kept saying the tank is legal because we are ignoring that medical barrier, that, you know, the barrier that she sits on top of. They basically ignore that, and say she's got a straight line of travel from north to south, which she does not. But APHIS just keeps signing off.
Yeah, there's been entire letter, telephone call campaigns to them. They've said that same thing.
And of course, there's nobody above APHIS. They're the top. What they say goes. Yeah.
So if there's been so many court cases, how have the court cases gone? What has been the result of all of those court cases?
There's been bits of in the past, not much. Until recently, the one that Zach had mentioned. You want to talk about that again?
Yeah, basically there was a court case back in 2015 that because LOLITA was captured from the pod of the southern Mexican killer whales, it's now endangered. She's now protected under the Endangered Species Act. And that whole thing was done by a petition of we got 500,000 signatures or something that passed. And so there's a lot of court cases going on now trying to use the Endangered Species Act and that harassment clause to basically argue that LOLITA being in captivity in a legally sized tank qualifies under that clause, so she can be retired or C-section. That's basically what the argument is right now. There's been some progress in that. I think there's a court case right now that keeps being pushed back and delayed.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which is the problem with the courts.
Yeah. That's the problem with my lawsuit right now.
I'm just throwing this out there, but in the wild where they live, are there, with climate change and different things going on, is that also impacting their survival?
Oh, hell yeah.
In the wild as well?
And the hazards out there, I am not going to deny that the hazards in the wild are enormous.
Yeah.
And that was always Sequarium's big defense, why would we put her out in the big, bad, dangerous ocean?
Yeah.
And that's like saying, why would we release a convict who was convicted unjustly back out in the big, scary world after 30 years? Let's just leave him in jail where he's safe, I mean, it's a ridiculous argument, but yes. In fact, orcas and other whales have, I think, the highest level of PCPs. I mean, they're really, really contaminated, orcas and dolphins.
Wow.
And then, of course, they've got, traffic. Boat traffic is huge. And now the dolphin swim programs out in the ocean, or down in the Gulf of Mexico, really impacting the dolphins down there because it's basically dolphin harassment out in the water. As far as the Pacific, the Northwest orcas, Zach probably has more information. I've been kind of focused on Asia lately, but have you talked to Howard? Or I guess it would be Ken, who does the major research on the JK and L pods, which are the resident pods of the Pacific Northwest.
They've been hit really hard recently. The population had recently gotten a big boost because there was a baby boom a couple of years ago. But recently a lot of those calves have passed away. I think one was hit by a boat, so boat traffic is a big issue. Really one of the big things there though is they're basically starving because there's not enough salmon from all the dams, overfishing, and even fish farming is having an impact on the salmon population. So they're basically starving, so there's not enough food for the mothers to care for their babies because they need about 10% of the body weight a day. So really, a lot of the big movement going on is to remove the Snake River dams and to basically move the dams and increase awareness and all that kind of stuff.
Climate change may be too early to really tell. Do you know anybody doing any climate change work with the whales and orcas?
Not off the top of my head, Naomi Rose, the university, I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to, if it's not affecting them now, it will soon. It's affecting everyone, everything. I don't know where the documentation will be on that yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Okay, so I know there's a lot of movements going on right now to show down orca shows, right? But is there anything going for dolphin shows and other marine mammal shows like
There should be.
There should be.
There should be. I don't know why we've seemed to latch on to the big mammals first.